This is my audience. One of the most researched supplements is often the most misunderstood by the general population. Despite this, many individuals take creatine on a daily basis in order to improve their physical and mental performance. Creatine can help to improve muscle growth, muscle repair, and even cognitive function. It is mainly targeted towards athletes, although the general population and the older population can significantly benefit from taking creatine as well. Knowing this and what it does is important for our bodies overall. So I'm going to be discussing what creatine is, how it works, and the pros and cons associated with creatine. But again, before I tell you why it's so useful, let's first figure out what creatine actually is at its core. According to the research done in the article, Should You Take Creatine Supplements in Order to Build or Retain Muscle, by Kimberly Gowd from the American Nonprofit Organization on April 10th, 2025, creatine is 3 amino acids which come together to form a protein in order to produce and reproduce ATP. ATP is adenine triphosphate, which is our body's main source of energy. So essentially, creatine is just a protein that's used to enhance the energy within our body. But you might be asking, if creatine naturally reproduces within our body, then why do we need to supplement it? Well, that's because only half the creatine our body actually needs is produced within our body. The other half we need to get through protein-rich food sources such as chicken, red meat, and fish. Creatine in our bodies is naturally stored within our muscles and our brain. So now that we know what creatine is, what it does, we need to figure out how it actually actively works within our bodies. So, evidence from the Mayo Clinic, which is a notable research group dedicated to quality work through expert health specialists, noted on April 2nd, 2026, how creatine can directly help with muscle growth and repair by providing increased energy storage through ATP in short bursts. That's right, short bursts. This is really helpful for those athletes and those who live active lifestyles to help with quick energy in between sets and in between workouts. It helps with muscle recovery and sustainability and longevity over time and through workouts. Additionally, it increases cognitive function in the older population. Also, it helps with water retention within our muscles, which is directly correlated to that muscle growth and muscle repair. More water in the muscles leads to faster muscle retention and allowing them to recover faster after workouts. But you might be asking, how do I go about taking creatine? Well, the most researched form of creatine is creatine monohydrate. There are other forms out there, but if you want to play it safe, creatine monohydrate has been tested so many times by so many different specialists and is proven to be the most effective and the most safe type of form. You want to make sure that whatever brand you buy is third-party tested to make sure that it is safe for market. There are 2 ways you can go about taking creatine. You can either start with taking 5 grams a day for around a month and continuing on with around 8 to 10 ounces of water daily. This allows the creatine to slowly build up in your muscles and it's less of an impact on your GI tract. However, other people prefer to take a loading phase, which is taking 20 grams daily for about 1 to 2 weeks before switching back to 5 grams a day. Whatever is your preferred method is whatever is right for you and whatever fits your lifestyle best. Personally, this is the brand that I use and it's Nutri-Cost Performance, and I do the 5 gram loading method because I feel that is what works best for me. However, despite all the research conducted by professionals, many are still skeptical about taking creatine, and here's why. In the article, Should I Take Creatine to Build Muscle? By Casey Vallick, who is a registered dietitian, she conducted research through The Ohio State University and denoted the pros and the potential cons resulting from creatine. With those who have pre-existing kidney issues, specifically this is more common in the older population, it can cause those issues to get a little worse, but again, only if you have pre-existing kidney issues. Furthermore, it can have issues on your GI tract with dehydration and muscle cramps as well as waking. But those are all because when you take creatine, it is pulling so much water from your GI tract into your muscles that it can cause your GI system to get a little bit messed up, which causes that dehydration because If you're drinking too less water, you have muscle cramping. But if you're drinking too much water, obviously your muscles are going to fill up. The point of creatine is to draw water into your muscles, so it creates that fuller look, which people often mistake for weight gain, but it's just water retention. You just need to make sure that you're staying hydrated and following the appropriate steps that your doctor recommends, or whoever recommends that you research. Just make sure that you're playing it safe and just drinking enough water in order to keep your body healthy. But now that we know what creatine actually is, how it's used, and the safety around it, you can decipher if creatine is the right fit for you. Creatine is a naturally occurring protein in our body used for ATP production. It helps with increased strength, muscle growth, and even cognitive function. There are no notable long-term effects with taking creatine, and science has shown that it is safe through all the trials and research that are out there. So just make sure, again, to stay hydrated. There's nothing you can lose by taking it, so why not give it a try? Thank you.